I tested many point-and-shoot cameras recently, and now I'm gonna rank the 20 most popular point-and-shoot cameras of 2024. Links to all of these point-and-shoot cameras will be listed in the description below. Number 1. Sony ZV-1 Mark II. This little beast is an absolute game changer for vloggers and content creators. The wider 18 to 50mm lens gives you so much more flexibility for framing those perfect shots. And let me tell you, the autofocus on this thing is insane. It tracks faces and eyes like a champ, even in tricky lighting. Sure, it's a bit pricey, but for the quality you're getting, it's totally worth it. I'm putting this bad boy in God tier without hesitation. Number 2. Canon Powershot V10. Okay, so this one's a bit of an oddball with its vertical design, but hear me out. It's super compact and actually pretty clever for handheld vlogging. The built-in stand is a nice touch, and the video quality is solid for the price. But man, that battery life is a real bummer, and the autofocus can be hit or miss. It's a decent budget option for beginners, but it's not blowing me away. I'm slotting this one into the good tier. It's got potential, but it's not quite there yet. Number 3. Sony ZV-1 Mark I. This camera was a real trailblazer when it came out, and it's still holding its own. The 24-70mm lens is versatile, and the image quality is top-notch. Plus, that background defocus button is a lifesaver for quick, professional-looking vlogs. It's not quite as wide as the Mark II, but it's still a solid choice, especially if you can snag it at a discount. I'm feeling good about putting this in the great tier. It's still a fantastic camera even with a newer model out. Number 4. Panasonic LX10. Now, this little guy might not be marketed specifically for vlogging, but don't sleep on it. The f1.4 aperture at the wide end is seriously impressive, and the 4K video looks crisp. It's got a ton of features packed into a compact body, which is great for travel. The touchscreen is responsive and the overall build quality feels premium. However, the battery life could be better and it lacks a built-in ND filter. All things considered, I'm placing this in the good tier. It's a capable all-rounder that shouldn't be overlooked. Number 5. Kodak Pixpro FZ55. This little guy is like a blast from the past, but in a not-so-great way. It's got a 16-megapixel sensor and 5x optical zoom, which sounds okay on paper, but the image quality is pretty meh. The 2.7-inch LCD screen feels tiny and outdated in 2024, but hey, it's super cheap and easy to use, so it might be good for kids or as a backup camera. I'm putting this in the average tier because while it's not terrible, there are definitely better options out there. Number 6. Canon Powershot SX740HS. This camera packs a serious punch with its 40x optical zoom, perfect for those faraway shots. The 4K video is a nice touch and the flip-up screen is great for selfies. But let's be real, the small 1 to 2.3-inch sensor means image quality isn't mind-blowing, especially in low light. It's a solid travel companion, but I can't help feeling it's a bit overpriced for what it offers. I'm sliding this into the average tier too, mainly because of that price-to-performance ratio. Number 7. Panasonic Lumix LX100 II. This camera is a beast in a tiny package. The 4/3 sensor is much bigger than your typical compact, giving you killer image quality. The Leica lens is sharp as a tack, and the aperture ring feels so satisfying to use. It's not perfect though. No tilting screen is a bummer, and it's a bit pricey. But for street photography or as a backup to a bigger camera, it's hard to beat. I'm loving this one, so it's going straight into the great tier. Number 8. Sony RX100 VII. Sony really went all out with this one. The autofocus is insanely fast and accurate, and the 20 FPS burst mode is just ridiculous. The zoom range is versatile and the image quality is top-notch for a compact. But let's talk about the price tag. It's also a bit fiddly to use with all those features crammed into such a small body. Still, for those who want the ultimate pocket rocket and don't mind the cost, this is it. I'm putting this in the great tier too, but man, it was close to God tier. Number 10. Ricoh GR III. Street photographers are gonna love this one. It's compact, discreet, and the 28mm lens is tack sharp. The image stabilization is a nice touch, and the image quality from that APS-C sensor is stellar. The fixed lens might not be for everyone, and the battery life could be better, but for what it does it so well. I'm slotting this into the great tier too. It's a specialized tool, but it absolutely nails its niche. Number 11. Leica Q3. Alright, let's talk about this luxury beast. That 16-megapixel sensor is no joke, and the build quality is typical Leica. Absolutely top-notch. The autofocus has improved, but it's still not quite up there with the best. And let's be real, that price tag is gonna make most of us wince. It's a beautiful camera that takes gorgeous photos, but I'm putting this in the good tier. It's amazing, but the value proposition just isn't quite there for most folks. Number 12. Panasonic Lumix ZS200D. Now here's a travel zoom that punches above its weight. That 15x optical zoom is seriously impressive for such a compact body, and having 4K video is a nice bonus. The image quality is solid, especially in good light. The autofocus can struggle a bit in low light, and that f3.3 to 6.4 lens isn't the brightest, but for the price and versatility, it's hard to complain. I'm placing this in the good tier. It's a great all-rounder for travelers who want a do-it-all compact. Number 13. Panasonic Lumix DMC FZ300. This camera is a solid performer with its 12.1 megapixel sensor and impressive 24 times zoom lens. I love that it's weather sealed and has a constant f2.8 aperture throughout the zoom range, perfect for outdoor enthusiasts. The 4K video capabilities and fast autofocus are great, but the smaller sensor size does limit image quality a bit, especially in low light. For a high zoom point and shoot, I'm putting this in the gray tier. It's versatile and feature packed, but not quite top of the line. Number 14. Ricoh GR IIIx. This little pocket rocket is something special. It's got a large APS-C sensor in a body barely bigger than a smartphone with a sharp 40mm equivalent lens. The image quality is absolutely stunning, and it's perfect for street photography or everyday carry. The only real downsides are the lack of a viewfinder and the fixed screen, which can be annoying in bright light. But for the image quality and portability, I'm definitely putting this in the God tier. It's a photographer's dream compact. Number 15. Canon G7X Mark III. This camera is a vlogger's best friend. It's got a flip-up screen for selfies, 4K video, and even live streaming capabilities. The 1-inch sensor and 24 to 100mm equivalent zoom give you great image quality and flexibility. I love the compact size and the control ring around the lens. The autofocus can be a bit hit or miss, especially for video, but overall, it's a fantastic little powerhouse. For its versatility and features, I'm placing this in the God tier. It's just so good for content creators. Number 16. Fujifilm X100VI. Fujifilm has really outdone themselves with this one. The X100VI packs a 40-megapixel APS-C sensor with in-body stabilization into that classic rangefinder style body. The 35mm equivalent f2 lens is tack sharp, and the Fuji's color science is just... It's got that hybrid viewfinder that's so cool, and the retro controls are a joy to use. Yeah, it's pricey and the fixed lens isn't for everyone, but for street and travel photography, this thing is unbeatable. It's a no-brainer God tier for me. It's basically the perfect fixed lens camera. Number 17. Sony a6000. This little powerhouse has been around for a while, but it's still packing a punch. The autofocus is lightning fast, and that 11 FPS burst mode, perfect for capturing those action shots. Sure, the screen and EVF aren't top-notch by today's standards, but the image quality is still solid. It's a great option for beginners or as a backup camera. I'm putting this in the gray tier. It may be older, but it's still a fantastic value. Number 18. Sony RX1R II. Wow, talk about cramming a lot into a tiny package. This full-frame compact is like having a mini DSLR in your pocket. The image quality from that 42-megapixel sensor is insane, and that Zeiss lens is tack sharp. But let's be real, the battery life is a joke, and the price tag will make your wallet cry. It's a niche camera for sure, best suited for street photographers who demand the absolute best image quality. I'm placing this in the good tier, amazing performance, but with some significant drawbacks. Number 19. Canon M6 Mark II. Holy megapixels! This thing is a beast with its 32.5 megapixel sensor and blazing fast 14 FPS shooting. The 4K video without crop is a huge plus, and that flip-up screen is perfect for vlogging. It's compact, versatile, and punches way above its weight class. The only real downside is the limited native lens selection, but man, for the price, this camera is an absolute steal. I'm slapping this bad boy right into the God tier. It's that good. Number 20. Olympus Tough TG7. Now, this is what I call the go-anywhere camera. Waterproof, shockproof, crush-proof, you name it. This thing can handle it. The macro capabilities are seriously impressive, and the built-in GPS is great for adventure seekers. Sure, the image quality won't blow you away, and that 12-megapixel sensor is starting to show its age. But for a rugged point-and-shoot that you can take snorkeling or mountain climbing without worry, it's hard to beat. I'm putting this in the gray tier. It's not for everyone, but it excels at what it's designed for. So there you have it. These are my personal ratings for all of the most popular best point-and-shoot cameras of 2024. Links to all of these point-and-shoot cameras will be in the description below. Do you agree with me on these rankings or not? Leave a comment down below and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.